12:05 in the afternoon here on 90.3 FM. It's Wednesday. That means it's time for Helping Seniors of Brevard, heard every Wednesday, 12 noon to 1 o'clock. Let's get things underway right now as we introduce the host of the show and the executive director of Helping Seniors of Brevard. Here's Carrie Fink. Hi, Carrie.
Hey, John Harper. How are you today on this fine Wednesday?
Doing good, staying high and dry.
That's the way to do it. Well, we always gather around the radio here, 12 noon, lunchtimes on Wednesday here on 90.3 FM, WEJF. We want to welcome in the folks who are listening to, we would call it traditional radio stations, and also those who join us online at WEJF.net. And also a special shout out to everybody who is now finding this as a podcast. So since the year rolled over into the new year, we've always been available on Facebook Watch and your YouTube channel, but now you can find us on your Apple iTunes. You can, if you're an Amazoner, you can say, hey, Alexa, I want to hear Helping Seniors Radio. You can go to Spotify or any of the main outlets, iHeartRadio, and find Helping Seniors podcast there. So we want to welcome you to the show. There's lots of great materials here. Helping Seniors of Brevard, now in our 11th year of service to Brevard County. We are a registered Florida 501c3. That's a fancy word for a not-for-profit. And so our mission is to help inform and educate and assist seniors with good information that helps them create an aging plan. And our president and founder, Joe Steckler, who is retired Navy, he's the guy that actually, when he retired, he started up with the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation, helped them get those things, which to this day, the adult daycare centers called Joe's Clubs throughout the county. And well, I guess a little over 11 years ago, said we need to do more for seniors in Brevard County because there are so many seniors in Brevard County. In fact, 1 in 4 is over 65 if you live in Brevard County, and 1 in 2, if you just want to use AARP definition, is a senior. That's 50 plus. AARP says you're a senior if you're 50, and they start sending you cards and stuff in the mail. And so we always have this line in Brevard County, you are a senior, you love and care for a senior, or God willing, soon enough, you're going to be a senior. So there's always information here that's going to be helpful for you. So we titled today's program, Helping Seniors of Brevard Radio Show every Wednesday, 12 noon, but we titled it Great Living in 2022 because we have so many people in the studio. We're going to have to move fast to get all this good. These are great tips that you're going to get on today, some great ideas, some great thinking that will help you on your aging plan in 2022. And not all of that is serious as it sounds. When we say aging plan, everybody thinks, oh no, I have to get out a spreadsheet and I have to start really putting my thinking cap on. But we've actually, if you picked up your copy of Senior Scene magazine, the popular magazine here in Brevard County, there's like 12,000 copies out. You can find it in 500 different locations around the county. We are the yellow pages in the center. We publish our newsletter and our senior services directory there in the center, but you'll find we titled the January issue Getting Your Ducks in a Row, and it's all about making a plan. So Joe Steckler, who's our president and founder, he's always talked about, you know, when we're a kid, they told us, what do you want to be when you grow up and what's your plan? And when you get to be an adult, they say, well, what's your plan? Are you going to send kids to school? You're going to buy a house? What you going to do? And then when we get older, they say, what's your retirement plan? But they're usually just talking about your money. They're not talking about the things that you could run into along the way. So we often explain it like this. Here in Florida, we understand a hurricane plan, right? We don't want the hurricane here, but we need to be ready in case something happens. And that's what this is all about. So as I started to say, we don't really have we almost have a studio audience because we're so wedged in here into the broadcast booth. So let me start by introducing. We're just going to kind of go around the table. One is sitting next to me is Jennifer Helin, who is the owner of Seniors Helping Seniors of Brevard County, and that is a great company that helps you get good help at home. We're going to talk some about the benefits. And then, Jennifer, you've been a longtime friend of Helping Seniors. You sit on the board of directors. You've helped us with all of this since almost the very get-go.
Thanks, Carrie. It's great to be here, and it's great to see so many people here in the studio with us.
Yeah, I was going to say, we could almost hold up like applause signs and things like that as we go along. We're also privileged to have in the studio with us today another very longtime friend of the Helping Seniors organization. You've seen her in some of the Helping Seniors car raffle stuff. She is an expert when it comes to assisted living and memory care, and we're going to explode some myths about what that is. A lot of times people who aren't familiar with what assisted living and memory care can do, they think of maybe what it was 40, 50 years ago, maybe when they were young and going to see great-grandma or something like that. And it's just a whole different world. I've heard it explained that it's actually what you do if you won the lottery. You'd get a cook, you'd get a chauffeur, you'd get a gardener, you'd get all these things that make life good. I'm talking about longtime friend of Helping Seniors from Hibiscus Court, Assisted Living and Memory Care. It's Amanda Walker. How are you today, Amanda?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me today. We, just to tie in our show today, we love to call it like living on a cruise ship.
Aha! Wow, and she is being somewhat prophetic there because as we introduce our next guest, it's none other than Chris Morse, who has Travel Center USA, but also has been a partner with Helping Seniors for quite a while. You have experience going back into the 80s of running travel agencies. He is the go-to guy when it comes to cruise and travel. But not only that, Chris, you're a special needs certified travel agent, which means you specialize in helping people who didn't necessarily think they could cruise anymore or vacation anymore. You help them figure out how to do that safely and effectively. And for those of you that went with us in October on our very first Helping Seniors cruise, you know how much fun it was. And we're excited because we're going to do it again, Chris.
I know we're still getting calls every day regarding that MSC cruise back in October. And part of the retirement plan should always be, where am I going to go next?
Right.
What cruise line am I going to go on, especially out of Port Canaveral? So that's why we have another special guest. Carrie, if you'd like to introduce her.
I am so excited because I am a big fan of Royal Caribbean. You know, they have this great loyalty program. We're still sort of like on the lower tiers of it, but it is always such a great cruise line that we personally have enjoyed. In fact, the very next Helping Seniors cruise is going out on one of the beautiful ships there, but we're so excited to have in the studio with us as we're talking about great living in 2022, and I would say cruising most definitely fits the bill for that. But would like to welcome JoAnne Cotterman. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me in the studio today. I've actually live here in Satellite Beach, so I'm local to the area. I've been working with Chris for a long time. We have a great working relationship together, and we're really excited to have amazing ships in our backyard right here in Port Canaveral, and excited to be hosting your group in March.
You know, I was thinking, like, we've had a home here in this area since like the mid-90s. And I remember when Port Canaveral was an occasional stop for cruise ships. You know, it would be like occasionally. I think all we had at that time was maybe the big red boat. Everything else was, you know, they'll port, you know, at certain points of time. But otherwise, you'd have to find a way down to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, or maybe even over to Tampa to get on a cruise ship. But my goodness, they're telling us that Port Canaveral is now like one of the largest of all of them.
Fast becoming, yeah. I actually started with the big red boats back in 1985, so I remember those ships well. But yeah, the port is growing fast, and we're welcoming new ships, brand new ships, and with not just with Royal Caribbean, but with other cruise lines as well. So really exciting times for Port Canaveral.
Well, this is going to be exciting. So, listener, I want to invite you to grab a notepad and something to jot down, or however you take notes, because I'm sure we're going to hit something along the way. We're going to talk about 3 things about making your life better in 2022, great living in 2022. We're going to talk about how you can get help at home. That for many people, their decision is, hey, I love where I am. I wanna be at home. I want to do it safely, but I can't quite do all the things that I used to be able to do. So we're going to talk about that. Other people say, you know what? With house prices the way they are, what a great time to lose the house and enjoy a great life where I don't have to worry if the roof is leaking. I don't have to worry about what's for dinner. I can just enjoy a great life. I don't have to worry about who's keeping up with the yard or things like that. And we're going to talk about assisted living and memory care. And then we're going to cycle back and talk about having a lot of fun on board the cruise ship. So, Jennifer Helin with Seniors Helping Seniors, you guys have been an organization that you and your mom started this many years ago, but you didn't actually start it. You joined a great program that was already in place. Talk a little bit about Seniors Helping Seniors and what you guys do.
So, yes, we're actually going to be turning 10 in April.
Wow.
So
congratulations.
Thank you. 10 years in business. And it is a franchise. So it started over 20 years ago up in Reading, Pennsylvania. Wish I had thought of it myself, but we really do hire seniors to go out and help other seniors. So we want people to stay active and independent, social, engaged. And we've absolutely enjoyed what we do. Mom started the business with me. She's mostly retired now. But she does come out and do the fun things, especially if his Hibiscus Court's going to do a wind down Wednesday. She typically attends with me. But very much enjoy what we do, and so glad to be here and part of helping seniors of Brevard County as well.
You know, and you guys are also a great employment opportunity. So because part of the thing is you, in your name, you call it Seniors Helping Seniors, but it is because you hire people, I think it's over 50. Is that how it works, or how does that work actually?
Yes, because we really do focus on the peer-to-peer relationships. We find that, someone a little closer in age coming in kind of speaks the same language, has the same interests. It works really well. We hire folks who typically have retired, they've fooled around for a couple of years, and they want to do something that they feel really good about. So we're hiring people that are looking at this more than just a job. I mean, they do earn some extra income so they can go out and take a cruise. But they're doing it because they really want to help. They want to feel useful and stay social and stay engaged in their community. So it's a great part-time job. We're always hiring, especially right now. We're looking beachside for folks who would like to help, but throughout the county, Vieira as well. So if anybody would like to have a part-time job that they feel really, really good about, we'd love to hear from them.
So how do people reach you? Give
us a call at 321-722-2999. Again, that's 321-722-2999.
And, I wanted to mention this. Joe Steckler, our president and founder, when he talks about an aging plan, he always says, he calls them elements of care. And what he means by that is that as you age, your needs will shift a little bit. So where you start may not necessarily be where you need to finish, but if you've thought through the stages and things that you do, then we've always talked about what you do as Seniors Helping Seniors. You're really that first element of care is what to use the terminology that Joe uses, right? Because you guys are like the first entree of having somebody come in the home and help a little bit. And you're very... you're not, it's not like hands-on medical care. It's more like companion care, right?
Exactly. That's our licensing through the state is homemaker companion. And a lot of times we're the first ones having the conversation with people. So when we go out to sit down with folks the first time, we have an in-depth conversation about where they are and where they're headed. And that's why I love what Helping Seniors does, because having the aging plan is so important. We're helping initially with transportation, like housekeeping, meal preparation, things that seniors need to stay at home and independent. But we're very honest. If we feel like someone is better served with some hands-on care or assisted living, then we're going to tell the senior that and the family that. So we're advocating for the senior's best interests and their needs. And Amanda, sitting next to me, and I work really well together. And we were recently working with a couple that we've had for a number of years, but they're kind of getting to that point where they need a little bit more than we can provide, and recommended some really good trusted hands-on care companies and also assisted living. And I think that would be the best place for them. And we're really honest about that and making sure that people have that plan in place before it's needed so that it doesn't become a crisis situation is so important.
I wanted to ask you actually about that, because one of the things here in Florida, first of all, the state is growing like crazy. This seems to be everybody wants to move to Florida. That's kind of like the same decision that we made all those years ago. I always tell people we're kids from Georgia who got here via 10 years in Manhattan. And so the weather was agreeable and everything else was agreeable. So we love Florida, and welcoming everybody to Florida because they're coming here anyway. So, but also a large number of people that you guys, because I know we've talked about this, a large number of people who use your services, they could be adult kids of seniors who live out of state. Maybe they work up north or someplace out in the Midwest, and then they're calling you because they know mom and dad need some help, and you end up kind of being, and we talked about it especially through all the COVID stuff when nobody could travel and all that. People were calling you guys to say, how's mom and dad, and get help on that level too.
Oh, absolutely. And it's very common for us to even go right into the doctor's office with our clients, take notes and pass that along to the family so that the families know, exactly what's going on. We're kind of the eyes and ears on the ground because we do have a lot of folks that have moved down from New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, out in California, and the family isn't close by. They visit, thank goodness now we can travel a little bit more. They are visiting, but they can't be here 24/7. So we are kind of that link between the senior that's living here and the kids that are somewhere else. And we even have, I love the technology that you were talking about earlier, that our podcasts are everywhere now, which is amazing. We also have the technology that the kids that are, up in New York can go on the portal. They can look to see who's coming in today, see a little bio of the caregiver and of their picture. Wow. And then what the caregiver has done that day, that they, did go to Publix, they've taken them out to lunch, whatever they happen to do that day. So they know what's happening with mom and dad on a regular basis.
And, I guess, do you still do that program? You have a thing called Electronic Caregiver, right?
Yes. And we find that's very helpful as well because, most of our folks, we are the first rung into home care. So a lot of our folks we see a couple times a week, maybe 3 times a week. So the rest of the time they're home alone.
Yeah.
And to give that extra layer of protection, we also have the Electronic Caregiver, which is a help I've fallen and I can't get up button, but it actually is a lot more technology than just that. So it's an emergency alert, but it will do medication reminders, activity reminders. You can also get Bluetooth devices with it, so you can track blood sugar levels. There's a scale, temperature. There's a whole lot of different. I'm having my own little senior moment at the moment.
That's fine.
But you can track some vitals so that the doctor's getting that information. Maybe the adult daughter up in Ohio is getting that information, so that if something were to happen, you can catch it before it happens and make adjustments so that they don't end up in the hospital.
So important. So again, if people want to reach you, how is the best way to do that?
Please give us a call at 321-722-2999 and online at seniorshelpingseniors.com/Brevard.
Yeah. And by the way, while you're picking up your January edition of Senior Scene Magazine, you put a great article into the Getting Your Ducks in a Row section that folks should pick up and read starting the new year off right. So that's what we're talking about, great living in 2022. Now, sometimes people say, well, it sure would be easier to not have to deal with all the I would call them the joys of home ownership, the mowing of the lawn, the cooking, the paying of the cable bill, all those different things that always seem to come with that. And so Amanda Walker, I sat down with Heidi Kuchenbacker, who is, I guess she's now like almost at the top of your whole company, but she did a great show called How to Have the Talk about senior living. And I thought it was a great way, because she would say, how do adult children start to talk with their parents about, wouldn't this be this would be maybe a good idea for you guys to think about?
Yes, absolutely. That was a wonderful talk. It is very difficult for adult children to oftentimes have that conversation. We're here to help. Hibiscus Court is always available to help with figuring out the best route and the best methods and ways to have that conversation. But ultimately, you don't have to be, like you were saying earlier, it's not a nursing home. It's not what you see in television and movies, what assisted living is. It's not a hospital setting. It's a home setting. It's decorating an apartment with your own furniture, your own belongings, making it feel like home. We have a wonderful, wonderful kitchen staff that fixes 3 amazing home-cooked meals a day, a wait staff that serves you like going to a restaurant every single meal of the day. Lots of fun activities and entertainment to keep you busy. Lots of spaces for quiet time and to do things on your own as well. And it's just, and friends that are your own age without all of the work of maintaining a home.
Yeah. And you guys as Hibiscus Court, I know you guys are literally almost right across the street from all the medical center right there in downtown Melbourne, where with the Holmes Regional and everything. So getting, if you need doctors or things like that, all that's very convenient. But you're also in a great location because you're real close to downtown and all the fun things that go on there too.
We are right across the street from Holmes Regional at the corner of Hickory and Hibiscus. So we work really well with Holmes Regional and everything that they have to offer for our residents and their care needs. And then, yes, we take lots of trips to the downtown Melbourne area with residents, going out to lunch. We take scenic drives. We can head just across the bridge because we're right there off of 192, and head over to the beach for an afternoon to enjoy some fresh air and sunshine. So lots of activities and fun things for our residents to do with friends their age.
So, Amanda, this is Jennifer. I think Hibiscus Court is known for some of the crazy things that you do. They do a lot of really fun activities that are,
Yes.
They kind of think outside the box when it comes to their residents and the activities that they might enjoy. And you just had a really unique, I think, to Hibiscus activity last week. Can you talk about that a little?
Jennifer's sharing all of our secrets. But yes, every January we have an annual Residents Gone Wild party. It is a huge night for our residents and our staff. A lot of times you kind of hit that dip like all of us do. Our residents hit that dip in January after the holiday season where they had tons of visitors and tons of parties from November to December, and then January hits and it's like, wah, wah. So we throw an amazing Residents Gone Wild event. It is an event that has a ladies' slumber party. So this year it was Pretty in Pink. And a gentleman's night out, where this year we did a gentleman's night in. And then fun ensues for both at separated events. And then there might be some crashing of the party from one set to the other, from one party to the other party. There might be some managers that crash a party. There might be some undergarments that end up on the chandelier. But it's a great time where the residents just to get a chance to enjoy just having fun. Our staff gets a chance to enjoy really having fun with our residents for an evening. So we'll hopefully be able to invite our community partners back to attend next year's Residents Gone Wild because there's a lot that stays at Hibiscus Court.
Well, I'm always thinking you guys have a very active Facebook page, and whenever I go over there, there's always so much fun that you guys are having because it really does seem like you invest a lot of time and energy to the socialization aspect of what seniors need and go through. We're going to talk a little bit about socialization and a lot of fun things coming up in the second half of the show. Before we get there, real quick, I was going to say if people do want to reach you, maybe take a tour of the location and get some ideas. How do they do that?
Absolutely. You can reach out to us at 321-951-1050. You can ask for me, Amanda, and I'd be happy to show you around. We could grab lunch from our dining staff. So yeah, 321-951-1050.
Thank you. That's Amanda Walker with Hibiscus Court. We're going to be back with the second half of the Helping Seniors radio show with Jennifer Helin from Seniors Helping Seniors, Amanda Walker with Hibiscus Court, Chris Morse with the Helping Seniors Travel Club, and JoAnne Cotterman from Royal Caribbean. We got lots ahead, so stay with us.
It's 12:32 in the afternoon. You're listening to Helping Seniors of Brevard, heard every Wednesday, 12 noon and 1 o'clock. Let's get back now to more of the show. Here's the host of the show and the executive director of Helping Seniors of Brevard, Carrie Fink. Hi, Carrie.
Hey, John Harper, thank you. And thank you, listener, for being back for the second half of the Helping Seniors radio show every Wednesday right here on 90.3 FM, WEJF. 30,000 watts blasting up and down the entire Space Coast and even over into Orlando and down into Indian River counties. But we are Helping Seniors of Brevard, and we're the charitable organization that Joe Steckler founded in 2011. So that means we are now entering our 11th year of service to Brevard County. We have operated activated the county senior information helpline throughout that entire period of time, having helped now more than 4,000 seniors and their families absolutely free of charge. It's a free call to 321-473-7770, 321-473-7770. And you will find Nancy Deerdorf, who is our operations director. She is most likely the friendly voice that you'll pick up, who will pick up the phone when you call in. And we get calls about everything. Two of our guests in the studio today are actually on the board of helping seniors, so I'm going to kind of bring them into this part of the conversation. It's Jennifer Helin, whose company that we talked about earlier in the first part of the show is called Seniors Helping Seniors, but you also volunteer your time on the Helping Seniors of Brevard nonprofit board, as does Chris Morse, who is Senior Travel USA, but also the director of the Helping Seniors Travel Club, which we're going to talk about pretty extensively in the second part of the show, so don't go anywhere. But before we get there, I just want to talk about, just seriously for the moment, as a nonprofit, we really work hard on that senior information helpline, and we get calls about everything. I think Nancy Deerdorf gave a report at the last board meeting about some of the calls that she saw coming in, and she gave us some stats about, like, it was, I think, 120, 150 calls that she served just in the past month. Does that sound right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I'll jump in. Nancy also typically will give us one or two stories of how we've been able to help over the month. And the one that she told this last meeting, we won't mention names, but I was so grateful that she talked about that, because the person initially called our office.
Oh.
And we said, we're Seniors Helping Seniors. We're a home care agency. I think who you are looking for is helping seniors of Brevard County. And Katie in my office, you gave out that number and hung up the phone and said, "Oh, Jennifer, this one breaks my heart. I really hope Nancy is able to help." So being able to hear full circle what happened, Nancy was able to provide this senior and her adult disabled son with the assistance that they needed with gas cards, with temporary housing, and they are working on full-time housing for this person. It was a heartbreaking story, and knowing that these folks are safe, and that they've gotten the help that they needed, and that Nancy's continuing to talk to them and make sure that they have exactly what they need, is just... I couldn't wait to go back to the office and let Katie know that full circle, they got the help that they needed. It's so heartwarming. It just drives home why we do what we do.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said that any better. And that's why Joe has been, Joe Steckler, I'm talking about our president and founder, has been kind of on the watch for seniors ever since he and his wife, Terry, got here to Brevard County, always looking for ways to help seniors get the most out of their lives. And that's why we titled today's show Great Living 2022. So in addition to talking with Jennifer Helin about her company and what they do with Seniors Helping Seniors, we've been talking with Amanda Walker with Hibiscus Court and a little bit about assisted living. But you guys also do memory care as well. So if that's becoming a challenge for folks, you guys do the virtual dementia tour, and it's really a great eye-opener if you've never been involved in that, to understanding a bit more about that whole process.
Absolutely, Carrie. Hibiscus Court, we really strive to allow our residents and to let the Brevard community know that we are a community where you can age in place. So you can move in independent. You're just tired of taking care of your lawn and your house and tired of cooking and cleaning and doing laundry. We can take care of all of that for you. And then as your care needs maybe enhance as you get older, we're available to take care of any extra care needs, including those that may fall under that dementia umbrella and go on a dementia journey and will need a little more hands-on care. We also are great educators. So as Carrie was saying, our virtual dementia tour, we're getting ready to kick it back off and have trainings available at the community starting in February.
Okay.
It's an immersive experience. We're not sitting there and talking to you about dementia. We're giving you an immersive experience as to what your loved ones may be going through if their brain is failing them. And then we sit down and we talk about how you as a caregiver can help their journey a little bit better. We give you tools to be successful in being a better caregiver, as well as sharing with you other resources to take care of your loved one.
You know, that's so important because maybe in the early stages, somebody's trying to manage what's going on with their loved one at home. And these are just great skills for them to get so they get a deeper understanding and maybe an empathy for what that person's going through.
Absolutely. It is extremely eye-opening, the little things that you can do differently to help your loved one who may be on a dementia journey.
Yeah. So if people are interested in finding out about Hibiscus Court, or they're interested in maybe being part of one of the tours, I guess they could call you and get dates and information about that education program?
Absolutely, Carrie. They can reach us at 321-951-1050. We also promote our virtual dementia on our Facebook page.
Oh, good.
So Hibiscus Court Assisted Living and Memory Care in Melbourne it's a very long Facebook name, but if you put in Hibiscus Court, you'll find us.
Yeah, and so while you're also surfing all the pictures of residents gone wild, you can also find out about the dementia training.
Yes, absolutely. You can see all the fun we have at Hibiscus Court and then find out the information that we offer for our community partners.
Oh, it's good. It's good. Well, we're talking about great living in 2022. And so as we shift that, we started off the segment by talking about helping seniors being a nonprofit. And one of the fun things that you need to mark down for great living in 2022 is actually it's our major fundraiser for the year. So I want to give you a date that you want to be sure is in your calendar. It is going to be now Saturday, October 29th, 2022. So it's the last Saturday of October 2022. That is going to be the big event. It's a great celebration out at Mark Pylock's fascinating American Muscle Car Museum. Ever since he's had that place open, he's had a soft spot for seniors, and he's invited us to be able to not only have our grand drawing for the Helping Seniors Car Raffle, our 6th annual Helping Seniors Car Raffle, but he's also invited everybody who has a ticket to come out and enjoy his fascinating collection, $80 million worth of cars under one roof. It's a pretty fascinating experience, Jennifer Helin.
He's picking on me because I absolutely love it there. Team Dodge rides again.
That's right.
We love it. He opens it up for us to go and do a little bit of taping for promos before the actual event, and getting to go around with Ed and hear the history behind all of these. It's absolutely amazing. It's a lot of fun. I know my son's 17. He's really hoping that Mark finishes that quarter-mile track before we get back there in October. But the museum is so much fun to walk around, and Mark is so gracious. Besides giving us the venue, he pays for our beverages and the food. So he's amazingly generous to us, and can't wait for this year's event.
So very shortly, you're going to hear about tickets and things. Chris, you were there last year. You know all about that museum. It's a fascinating place.
I could not believe the number of cars that I remember back from 1945 to present day. There was my favorite old Mustang car that I used to drive. I thought that was my car right there. Boy, it was fabulous.
It is such a fascinating place to see. So we'll have more for you on that, but I just want to make sure you get that date. Lock that weekend down, October 29th. You want to be at the American Muscle Car Museum. Once again, our president, Joe Steckler, and his good buddy, A.J. Hires, working together. So it's going to be pretty much the same as we did last year. The winner gets to choose if they'd like a brand new Chevrolet Camaro 2022, brand new Dodge Challenger, brand new Mazda Miata, or a Kia Sportage, which is actually the car that David Odahowski, our winner last year, selected for himself. And the year before, it was a Chevrolet that the Troy Darling of Indy Atlantic selected. And then the year before, Karen Hoodless picked up the Challenger. And so out of all that, so much fun happens along the way. We're going to talk about Team Dodge versus Chevy and a whole lot of stuff. But mark that date down. It's Saturday, October 29th. Now, another date you want to mark down is actually, I believe it's a Saturday, but it is March the 20th. Am I saying that right,
Yeah,
Chris?
the cruise goes out on Sunday, the 20th of March.
Sunday, the 20th.
Out of Port Canaveral, and we're going to be on the beautiful Royal Caribbean cruise line, Harmony of the Seas, one of the most beautiful and largest ships in the world. Yeah. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be wonderful. And JoAnne, who is one of the managers here at Royal Caribbean, is going to share some information with us. And at the booth today at the Merritt Island Mall.
That's right.
I was talking to some of the seniors, and some of the seniors are still a little bit concerned about the Omni COVID problem, but as they were saying, it's more like the flu now than it was like the big COVID that happened last year. And I know Royal Caribbean is looking heavily into that and how we're going to be able to protect all of the seniors that come aboard. And as we talked about last year, the cruise ships now, especially Royal Caribbean, it is safer to be on a cruise ship with the way they're cleaning it than in your home.
You and I talked about that from the very outset. You know, it's like the cruise ships, we're both fans of cruising, so that's our disclaimer up front. But boy, you know, they are so careful to observe every protocol to keep the guests safe, to keep the crew safe. We saw it in action when we were sailing on the very first Helping Seniors cruise that went out of Port Canaveral in October, and it was really a joy to see how seriously everybody on board, I'm talking about the people who work on board, were to be sure that they kept everybody safe. And I know Royal Caribbean is like the top cruise line ever. And so they, of all people, know how to do this. And so I want to welcome again JoAnne Cotterman to the radio show and just talk about, we're so excited. We were talking about Port Canaveral growing up, and now you have like one of the largest ships in the world that's here. And this is what we're going to get to go sailing on in March.
Yeah, we're really excited to welcome your group on board. And, you know, we've actually been in operation back from our healthy return to service for almost a year now. We started in the U.S. in July of this last year, but we have hosted over 500,000 guests on board our ships to date. We have brought back about 30,000 of our crew. They are fully vaccinated. They are constantly being tested. So, you know, even when this all first started, we worked with a team of experts in the science and medical field, the Healthy Sail Panel. We brought them on and we worked hand in hand with them and the CDC to come up with the tools that created this really healthy environment. And that's through vaccinations and testing and fresh filtered air through the HVAC systems. We have technology that works with medical grade disinfectants. Wow. We have a program a technology, it's a system called electrostatic fogging, and that's basically taken electricity that goes through the nozzle of the aerosol that's being sprayed into the area, so it sticks better, it covers better surfaces. Like if you imagine that you're sneezing or coughing and how that sprays, well, this aerosol with the electrical forces now covers those surfaces for us. So, you know, I have to say I have cruised about 8 times since we've been back to service with some of our simulated cruises, and it feels very familiar, more familiar than not. Yes, you do have to wear masks, and there are some protocols. There's some pre-testing, COVID testing before you get on board. But as Chris said, we're in an environment of upwards to 95% of all guests on board being vaccinated. I think the statistics now says about 62% in the U.S. are vaccinated. So it's a very safe environment, and that's our promise to you. But we also have programs in place. That's a Cruise with Confidence program that allows you to cancel up to 48 hours prior to your sailing. If you're not comfortable sailing, we'll give you a full refund of your cruise credit in a future cruise credit. If you come down with COVID or your traveling partner has COVID before sailing, you're entitled to a refund. But I say all this, and there's a lot of information in a very little time, but your travel agent is your expert. They are up to date. They have all of the most current knowledge. They have the protocols. So we really encourage our guests to work with an expert travel agent. And Chris is an expert. He's as I said earlier, we have worked together. We have a great partnership, a great working relationship, and they can even, once you get past the protocols and you're making your booking, a ship like the Harmony of the Seas has 42 different categories of staterooms to book. The ship is its own destination, and there's beautiful staterooms and categories to select from, over 18 dining venues and all kinds of entertainment venues to select between the Aqua Theater, the full Broadway show, or the ice skating shows. So many things to do, and it's not just limited to the senior market. It's a multi-generation. So think about your grandchildren, think about your family, and taking them on and enjoying this experience and creating those memories of a lifetime.
Absolutely. I was going to say, Chris, one of the things that is so exciting about, first of all, Royal Caribbean is an amazing cruise just anyway, but to be on one of the largest ships in the world that has all these great amenities on board. But then as we have really been learning, it was sort of the reason why when you, Joe, and we all sat down and said, could we try to put together this Helping Seniors Travel Club, because we understood isolation, and all this was before COVID hit, right? We were talking about this before COVID hit, that seniors want to go traveling. And one of the reasons they want to go traveling is they want to meet people and have a great time at sea. But so often when we go cruising, right? We go cruising and we make friends, and they live in Seattle, and then we're Facebook buddies. But here, when you go cruising on a Helping Seniors of Brevard group, you're traveling with locals and you become friends. And so now when you get off the cruise ship, it's like, let's have lunch Wednesday.
Yes, and we proved that on the MSC cruise. I think over 50% now that have been counting have recontacted each other after the cruise.
Absolutely.
And some of the people are now getting together and going on the March cruise because they met each other on the October cruise.
Right.
But the other important thing I wanted to mention is that Royal Caribbean is supporting Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation with some of their pricing structure that they've given me, so we can donate back to Helping Seniors of Brevard. So not only do we offer the lowest price for the senior to get on board the ship, we're also donating back part of the profits that we get back to the Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation to help the seniors who are less fortunate than we are. And we really want to build that foundation up, and hopefully we're going to be doing 3 or 4 or 5 cruises a year, all donating back to the foundation. And we really feel very strongly about that, and we'd like all the support from all of the people that we reach out to, all the seniors. And again, we are special needs certified. We've talked to seniors who thought they could never cruise again. Right. They've come aboard the ship and they've had a great time. So it's out there for us. We want to support Helping Seniors of Brevard. We want to support Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines for all the things they're going to be doing for us on board the cruise, and for the donations that they will be giving us through their pricing structure. So it's going to be a wonderful year for cruising, and we're all pented up. It's been 18 months for most of us that haven't even been able to go outside and do anything yet. So
it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're excited.
So I wanted to ask you, because I remember on the last cruise, I think it was amazing. I think our oldest cruiser traveling by herself was what, 92?
92 years old.
92 years old. And so the kind of the proof was in the pudding, is that everybody got together. They were part of a group. They were traveling with you and Betty, who every step of the way you made sure that their experience on the ship was excellent. If anybody had a problem on board, like I don't understand something on my bill, to just like I have this medication need, I got to work something out. You guys were there every step of the way. So you weren't traveling by yourself. First of all, you had the entire cruise ship staff working to help, but you guys were there personally to make sure. It was almost like concierge service.
Yes, it was. It was a lot of fun, too. The 90-year-old lady who traveled with us did not want to have a roommate. She wanted to be all by herself. But boy, did she enjoy having dinner with the whole group, and she hopped from table to table at night, and she had just had a great time. And one of our passengers got stung by a bee or something on board the ship, if you remember, and we were able to help her go down to the medical center and take care of that, too. So we are hands-on. Whenever we do a group cruise, Betty and I are always there to help and support all of our senior customers. And we also get tremendous help from the Royal Caribbean family who lives on board the ships too. They're always looking out for us, and all I have to do is reach out to them, and they're there in a heartbeat to help us too. So it's just not all Betty and I. It's Betty and I on Royal Caribbean, and help and support from even the folks that were on board the ship.
Yeah, and I was thinking too, when we were talking earlier about multi-generational, that's the fun thing. You were just mentioning it on a cruise ship. Everybody is free to kind of move around and do the things. Some people are more active. Some people just enjoy to sit on the balcony and look out at the ocean. And then everybody gets together for social events. It's just a great experience. About the cruise in March, is it too late to join up?
Oh no, we still have some cabins available. We have some inside, outside, and some balcony cabins available. Royal Caribbean has extended their gracious pricing to us until 18th of February.
Okay.
So we can book up until then and get the great pricing. And then after that, if people want to join us, we have to use the regular pricing that's available either online or through Royal Caribbean. But it should be great. And by the way, we were talking to a lot of the seniors who came aboard, and the multi-generational package is wonderful. They don't want to take their kids. They want to take their grandkids on board a cruise ship. And Royal Caribbean has an award-winning kids program on board where they come and pick them up at 9:00. They're whisked away, and you don't even have to see them until midnight that night if you don't want to. So it's fabulous for the seniors to bring their grandkids and have a great time together.
And I want to ask JoAnne, because I've been on many Royal Caribbean sailings before, wonderful experience, but don't know this ship. This is like a destination by itself.
Oh, you're absolutely right. So the Harmony of the Seas is what we call an Oasis class ship, and this is the largest cruise class of ship in the world, but it's the distinct blueprint of 7 distinct neighborhoods. So that means we have Central Park with over 12,000 living plants on board. We have a real boardwalk like you would have at Coney Island with Carousel, and there's the Aqua Theaters out there which is our entertainment venue, which is amazing shows. We have the Royal Promenade, which is an interior promenade that's built like a city street in Europe. It's 4 stories high. It's full of shops and eateries, and it's just amazing to stroll through or to sit and watch people pass by. Of course, we've got the entertainment zone. We got the sports zone. I could take a whole hour just talking about what the ship has to offer, but it's truly amazing. Now, the full Broadway show on the Harmony is Grease.
Wow.
And I should mention, we do not charge for our shows or the use of going down the slide or the zip line or the rock climbing wall or the basketball court or any of the activities that we have or our entertainment, which is award-winning.
Wow. Well, and I'm thinking too, and on top of that, this sailing will stop at the Royal Caribbean island, right?
It actually has 2 of our private destinations, which we're really excited about. If you haven't visited our Perfect Day Coco Cay, she's been in operation or open about 2 years now, I believe. We've actually built a pier there, so no longer do we have to tender into the island. The ship pulls right up into the pier. There's shuttle service right from the gangway into the entrance of Perfect Day, or you can stay right on the shuttle and shuttle around the island. Very easy to navigate. We like to divide it in 2 different experiences. You have your thrill and your chill. So you choose what you want it to be. We've got 3 separate beaches. We have a water park. We also have in the center of the island, the Oasis Lagoon, which is 800,000 gallons of fresh water, which comes with a swim-up bar with a DJ. And if you have the drink package on board, that transfers over to the Perfect Day Island. It really, truly is one of the best destinations that we have to offer in our portfolio of destinations.
So, Chris, if they're going to get some information and maybe learn a little bit more, how would they reach you? And maybe they have questions like, I don't know if I can do this. But the great thing, we've talked about this before, you don't have to figure out how to get to Miami or Fort Lauderdale. You literally can have a neighbor drop you off, and you're right there. It's right here in our home port of Port Canaveral, in and out of Port Canaveral. Great experience. If somebody wants more information or figure out how they could do this, how does that work?
You can reach us at 818-430-1480. Ask any questions about cruising, land packages. If your special needs, if you have any special pricing requirements, we can help you get on board a ship, take a wonderful land package, and even get you there the best way we can, knowing all of the information that we have for you. So thanks.
That's good. It's good. Well, I kind of feel almost like, if you guys remember SpongeBob SquarePants, it's like, I'm ready. Let's go cruising. So you can go to helpingseniorstravelclub.com. You'll find the information there. And I want to thank everybody who's been in the studio with us today. It's been a real pleasure having everyone from JoAnne Cotterman with Royal Caribbean to Chris Morse with the Helping Seniors Travel Club, Amanda Walker with Hibiscus Course, Jennifer Helin with Seniors Helping Seniors, and on behalf of Joe Steckler and our entire crew, Nancy Deerdorf and Marty Upton and everybody that's part of the Helping Seniors family, I'm Kerry Fink, and we'll see you next week right here on Helping Seniors Radio. All together, we'll say bye-bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye-bye.